What's going on, guys? It's Instant Classic 8 here. Just want to talk about what happened this past week in wrestling between the WWE and TNA, between the two shows and everything. I thought with Raw, ECW, TNA Impact, and SmackDown, I thought it was a very very good week for wrestling. Um, all the shows pretty much it held their own, and it wasn't totally disappointing, but they were all watchable shows. Monday you started off with Raw. It was a decent show. It wasn't better than the few Raws they've been putting on the past couple of weeks, but it was watchable. The best match you had, of course, which everyone was going to predict, was Shelton Benjamin and Jeff Hardy for the IC title. It was a good match. Uh, the worst match of the night, of course, was Davari and Hacksaw Jim Duggan in a capture the flag match. I don't know what they call it, flag on the pole match or something. It was a time filler. That's all it was, and it was BS. Basically, it was a BS match. And then the part that I just didn't understand was Triple H giving the pedigree to Brian Kendrick and Paul London. It wasn't needed at all. He just did it because he's Triple H, and what are you gonna do about it? ECW was it was a good show. Good show. It started off with a fatal four-way match: Kevin Thorne, Stevie Richards, Elijah Burke, and Tommy Dreamer for a elimination chase to No Mercy, I believe. Basically, they have a series of, I believe, three matches is going to be, and the last person that uh, comes out, the winner of that last match is going to get to face CM Punk at No Mercy. So basically, you had a fatal four way this week. Well, last week. This week, you're going to have a triple threat match, and then the following, you're going to have a one on one. But other than that, the fatal four way from this past week was a very good match. A couple of spots in there that helped liven up the match a little bit. But other than that, it was a good match. Every guy held their own, and uh, Stevie Richards ended up becoming the first person eliminated from the chase. So we'll see what happened with that. Then you had you went the Miz and Balls Mahoney feud, which I just don't get, and it's just a waste of time. And then the main event was Boogeyman versus Big Daddy V, which was a terrible match. It was everything you expected it to be, which was a terrible match, and even more. It was horrible. It's up there with the worst. I can't see why anybody enjoyed that. TNA Impact was a good show this week. I didn't like the promo at the beginning of the show. It was just too much Karen and, well, not even Kurt. It's just Karen Angle. Just too much for her. Even though she is holding her own on the mic for never being on the mic and everything. It was alright. It was too long of a promo. How about that? That was good. And then you had Nash and everything, and it was okay. But they could have done without that. Best match of the night had to go to AJ Styles versus Ron Truth Keelings. It was a good match. Both of them pulled off some good moves, and I believe, God, who won that match? I don't even remember. But either way, it was a good match. It's setting up for the tag team match between Pac-Man and Truth versus AJ and Tomko at Bound for Glory, which should be I don't know. They need to get somebody else other than Pac-Man so they can have a real tag team match. But we'll see how it goes. You also had the in-ring debut of Judas Mesias. He basically squashed Eric Young. That's we all knew that was going to happen, and I don't know. Let's just see where this character goes. You had Rikishi making his TNA debut against Christian Cage. Please get Rikishi out of there. I don't like him at all. Just old WWE stuff that he's doing is just, I don't know. Why do you have him in there? We'll see what they do with him, but I hope it's not much. I hope it's just like Test. 3 weeks in TNA and then you're out. Boom, just like that. Because he's really not needed. They got people to take care of that. It's basically, I hope he's just there for like that Samoa challenge and whatever. And once this whole program with Christian Cage and Samoa Joe is done, just get him out of there. SmackDown. To tell the truth, I had SmackDown on DVR, and I got home late Friday night, and I heard, a lot of stuff about the whole wedding skit, which I knew was going to be interesting. So I just went ahead. I pretty much skipped uh, over all SmackDown right up to the wedding part. I heard that it was like Batista versus Mark Henry. I'm not sure if that's right. And I heard that Rey Mysterio cut a promo or a segment with JBL, I believe, and I'm not sure. I have to go back and watch that, but typical SmackDown BS. But I did watch the wedding segment, and it was very funny. Uh, you had all the superstars. Basically, the mid carders and the jobbers come out, which they're not gonna bring main eventers out because everybody was like, well, why didn't Cena or Orton come out? If Cena or Orton would have come out to that wedding, they would just draw so much attention to them and their whole situation that would take away from the wedding. So you just bring out the guys that you see, the mid carders and the jobbers. It worked perfect, and the divas and everything. And you had Jagged Edge come out and sing for Teddy and Crystal, and then Jillian Hall came out. Everyone knew she was going to come out, and I thought it was funny when she came out. And then Mickey James and Candice Michelle, took her to the back, and all the guys were like, yeah, just take her back. And then, the Godfather ended up coming out, which is always good to see. The crowd didn't pop like it should, because most people didn't know about the Godfather. You can't blame him. He was back in that time, but it was cool. He took the entire roster with him. Instead of, the Divas were still there, and Hornswoggle, McMahon, and Coach, they were still there, but all the guys left with him. I thought that was great, and the whole segment altogether was a great segment. The only thing I just didn't like was the ending where he had the heart attack. It's just, they shouldn't have went there, with the whole fake death with Vince, and then the Benoit situation, and then he's having a heart attack, and you got Vicky Guerrero sitting right there in the ring, and the whole Eddie thing is. They could have done something. I'm not saying it was the worst thing ever, but they could have definitely done something else, like some amnesia thing, or I don't. They could have done something. Other than that, it was a good segment. Like I said, I didn't watch the whole SmackDown, so I can't really rate if it was good or not. But just based on that segment, I would say it was a good show, just because of that one. Some news you had WWE releasing Marcus Corvan, Monty Brown. I heard he had the whole family issue. That's been going on for a couple of months now, and he was away dealing with that. And he's got to take care of that before he can worry about any kind of wrestling or whatever. But they released him. I'm not sure why they released him, but maybe that'll come to light in the next couple of weeks. I hope he ends up. Well, I hope first of all, I hope everything is good with his family and everything. Make sure he takes care of that first. But hopefully we'll see him one day, maybe in TNA again, or maybe in the WWE. Whichever one. But all the best for him. I read that Judas Mesias. Well, actually, no, I didn't even read it. I saw Judas Mesias was hurt badly at a indie show or something. He tried to jump from the top of a ladder to the outside, and no one was there to break his fall. I actually saw it saw the fall on YouTube. It was a very choppy video. Just some fan took it or whatever, and it was hard to see. But you could see him jumping from the top of the ladder to the outside, and everybody was like, "Oh," like groaning or whatever. But they're saying he's going to be out for a while, which is stupid because he was a definite go for the Monsters Ball match at Bound for Glory, which I would have loved to see. And then we saw Rhino come out there to defend Eric Young and Shark Boy this past week. So they would throw Rhino in the Monsters Ball, and then Abyss would have been in it, and it would have been a good match. But we'll see what comes to this now. And that should be about it. I went to a UWF show on Friday night. It was a good show. I got to see AJ Styles for the first time, and that guy was amazing. He went against Joey Mercury. He ended up losing, but just seeing AJ Styles was cool. JBL was there, Ron Simmons was there, the Steiner Brothers, Senshi, LAX. It was basically like a TNA house show, but you still had a couple more guys in there. They did the six-sided ring, and the last match was like a six sides of steel cage match. It was, like I said, it was a decent show. I mean, it was only $10, so I got my money's worth. But like I said, just I saw AJ Styles, and that's all I need to know. But hopefully, this coming up week is good with wrestling. You'll probably see the more build up for who is it? Randy Orton and John Cena, which is going to be a last man standing match at No Mercy. That's one reason. That's like 2 points to order No Mercy, but then five negative points to not order No Mercy. Is I heard it's supposed to be a Punjabi prison match between Batista and the Great Khali for the World Heavyweight Championship match. One thing I gotta say about No Mercy, why would you order No Mercy? Save your $40, just spend 30. Bound for Glory will be the pay per view of the year, I promise you. It's the Classic 8. I'll see you guys later.